So originally I was gonna make a funny video today, but I'm not feeling very funny. I consider myself, for the most part, an idealist, an optimist, almost aggressively so sometimes, but the holidays do have a tendency to get me down. There's kind of the standard reason of when you're celebrating the holidays, you're reminded of people that you can no longer celebrate with, either because they've passed away, or just because they're no longer that much a part of your life. And then you add to that the tragedy of something like what happened in Newtown, Connecticut, and it makes it hard to, be filled with holiday cheer and the Christmas spirit and stuff like that. But I told myself if I was gonna make a video that mentioned the Sandy Hook shooting, that I was gonna try and make it not positive, because there's no way to make it positive, but to not have it just be sad. And I don't want to talk about gun violence or mental health care, not because those things shouldn't be discussed, they definitely should, and there's other people who will discuss it way better than I ever would be able to. I just don't feel I have much to add to either of those conversations. What I can add is this, and that's that we definitely need to appreciate educators more in this country, and probably in other countries too, but definitely in the United States. The institution of school, as we know it today, has been around for a really long time, but it's one of those things that, when you think about it, seems kind of irrational, in that there's these parents, and they have these children who are like the most important thing in their lives, or I don't know, I'm not a parent, but I assume top 5. Kids are top 5, I would hope. And you send them off to this place to be cared for by a stranger, or multiple strangers, for like 8 hours a day, and you expect those strangers to prioritize your children as much as you do as a parent. And this is just an expectation that is normal, and it just goes to show how much we take for granted in the time we live in today. And it's also why it frustrates me so much when people say things like schools should be run like businesses, or that classroom size is something that only matters to teachers' unions, and things like that. Things that are actually said by politicians and just people every day, and it drives me nuts, because people have this idea that teachers don't have the children's best interests at heart. And I'm sure there's bad teachers out there, but for the most part, I think that a school is so much more than a business or just another institution. Teachers are so much more than just purveyors of knowledge. Like the teachers, the principal, the school psychologist who gave their lives for those children at Sandy Hook Elementary, nowhere in their job descriptions did it ever say that they had to give their lives for their students, that they had to sacrifice themselves to try and maintain safety for the students at that school. But they did it, and I don't think there are many teachers who wouldn't. Like, I'm trying to think back to all my years of schooling, and I had teachers that I didn't like, I had teachers that I didn't respect, or that I didn't want to have around, or that I may have even resented for one reason or another, but never did I feel like if I was in danger that I couldn't go to them for help. And maybe that was naive of me at the time, that I always felt safe in school, but teachers kind of allow you as children to keep the naivete that you should have as children. So I don't want to dwell on this topic, I just want to make a blanket statement that to all the educators out there, that I really appreciate what you do every day, and I acknowledge that it is so much more than what people think teaching is. And that's all I have to say about that.